everybody, Al Bernstein here with another one of our boxing hangouts, and this one is one I've looked forward to doing because it's about an event that I'm looking forward to being a part of again for the second straight year. We're going to talk on this hangout about the United States Intercollegiate Boxing Association Championships, which will be held in Ann Arbor, Michigan on this weekend, and I'm going to be at that event as I was last year. And it was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to being there and enjoying these great athletes and helping to call attention to what they do. And we are lucky to have with us the gentleman who is the executive director of USIBA. His name is Luke Runion. He is a terrific guy and does a great job of ushering this organization through the business of giving both young men and women in college boxing a chance to ply their craft. So Luke Runion, we welcome you into the fray, and it's great to see you.
Thanks, Al, for having me. I'm happy to be here, and we're appreciative of you supporting our event.
Well, I am a great supporter, an unabashed supporter of USIBA, and I think what you guys are doing is a spectacular thing, and we'll talk a little bit as we go on here about the genesis of your organization and how it's helped kids. Last year, I was there, and that group of young men and women that I was with are the Michigan team, which won the competition, the men's competition of the boxing championships. The women's title was won by West Point, and interestingly, last year, you guys had, I believe, 104 participants. This year you have 152 from 28 schools. And in the last several years, Luke, your participation has doubled. This has to make you feel pretty good.
It makes us feel really proud. We started with 9 schools 3 years ago who wanted to give both men and women an opportunity to compete as a co-ed club sport. And for us to go from 77 athletes at the University of San Francisco in 2013 to 104 last year in Miami to 152 in Michigan, it's tremendous growth, and we're very excited for the weekend. It's going to be a lot of good boxing.
And last year what I was struck by was, of course there are boxers at all different levels, obviously, as there is everywhere. But what I was struck by there were a couple of things. One, the team aspect of this is fascinating because you have these teams rooting, of course, individually for their fighters, but rooting to win the team title. And we're not used to that in boxing so much. We only see it, when we see countries facing each other. But I think that's part of what makes this a special competition, don't you think?
Absolutely. These students are training year-round, and there's a great camaraderie between the clubs. What you're going to see this weekend is some of the best schools in college boxing competing with each other on a level playing field. And Michigan and West Point, they're going to have some teams gunning for them. We have some large contingents from Eastern Michigan, Olivet College, VMI, which is Virginia Military Institute. Several other schools have large contingencies of 10 or more athletes, which in the past, as we have seen ourselves grow, we've seen clubs that have a handful of students that are the boxing club. Our tournaments allowed those students to have success, and now they're coming back with larger teams. And I just think that we're going to continue to grow year after year.
Yeah, and tell the folks a little bit about how this works. These are college students, and your teams are, when you organize a team on the college campus, tell us a little bit about how they're organized, where they fit into the scheme of things in these universities.
Sure. They're not part of the varsity athletic programs. That's one thing to keep in mind. All of the students are purely student athletes. No one is receiving athletic scholarships. They're under the club sport or student activities jurisdiction of the campus. Most of the students do their own fundraising by working concession stands at varsity events to raise money to travel to events. The majority of the coaches are unpaid volunteers. It really is a fit into the world of amateur boxing. It's what you would see at a club level. And our organization does things on the same way that the rest of the world of amateur boxing does things. We have beginners, we have intermediate, and we have open boxers. So, our skill categories allow teams to come and bring every athlete on their team to compete. They're all going to fit into the right skill level and have a level playing field.
That's one of the things that was remarkable to me going to last year's event, and I can't overemphasize what Luke said about all these people doing it for the love of the sport. Here you are with these very good, some of these, and we're going to talk about a couple of the really good athletes in a moment or two, but you have some of these very skilled boxers, some of whom will go on to glory in other ways as an amateur, some even as a professional perhaps, though that's not the point of this. And here they are in this situation where they're doing these fundraising efforts, and they're doing it for the love of the sport. And I want to zero in on the coaches, of which you are one, by the way, because you work with the University of Maryland, so you wear a couple of hats during this event. In fact, you wear about 5 or 6 hats. I don't know how your brain doesn't explode when you're doing the event, because I've been around it. But the people that coach and give of their time, I can't say enough how impressed I was with these men and women. They're a remarkable group.
Thank you. They are. And our organization really stresses leadership. We want our coaches to treat these boxers as the leaders of society, and that's what they're going to be one day.
Yeah.
So we want them to look at their experience with boxing in a favorable light, and they can be the future coaches, officials, state athletic commission members, just the fans. And when you have educated fans, people that are not just educated in the way that they have a college degree, but educated in the experience of having stepped in the squared circle, they can really speak to the sport. And a lot of people, boxing gets a bad rap in some circles. But we hope that our athletes are going to go out there and be ambassadors of the sport and take away the positive experiences that are going to lead them to do better things in life.
Let's talk about one of those athletes, a young man whose story is fairly remarkable. His name is Willie Farrell, and he boxes for Florida A&M. He's your defending heavyweight champion, I believe. And this young man has a personal story that tugs at your heartstrings, and as an athlete is very special as well.
Yes, it is. Willie is an outstanding athlete. He comes from a pedigree of a football family. Willie's brother Jonathan, unfortunately, made national headlines the other year when he was shot by a Florida police officer, and the campaign Justice for Jonathan became a big part of Willie's life. I mean, he still deals every day with the loss of his brother, but he's stated that boxing has helped him, push on. His brother would want him to continue to compete, be a competitor. It's helped him and his family cope. So I've seen Willie grow as a young man. We're excited to have Willie come back and defend his title again. These are real people. The athletes are going through things just like you. It's the life stories that make for the sport interesting. And Willie's one of the remarkable athletes that just has a story that you want to root for him. But there's also a category of people that are coming after him this year that want to knock off the defending champ. So it's going to make for some exciting boxing. Yeah,
and you mentioned exciting boxing. I have to say, one of the things that was interesting about this event, and by the way, there's still tickets available if you're in the Michigan area, Detroit, Ann Arbor, all through there. Ticket prices are very reasonable, I know, correct?
Correct. They're all supporting the University of Michigan Boxing Club, which is the host. They're $10 a day or $25 for a tournament pass.
Well worth spending. And if you come out there and you buy a ticket, I promise I will schmooze with you. So you can ask me any boxing question. Come up, and I'm there, and you can we can enjoy and all enjoy the event. Now I also had a chance when I was there last time. I visited with a lot of the boxers. Brandon Knox was one of them, a young man who won a championship last year. He was delightful, and I thought was really emblematic of all these youngsters. I found them, so many of them, to have really interesting personalities, and maybe part of this is, because they're college students and they're clearly looking at life through a broader lens. I thought they were very eclectic people as well, with a wide array of interests.
I'm glad that you noted that. Brandon is. I got some time to spend with him last season. He competed in our annual event of USIBA versus Ireland, and Brandon went to Dublin and fought a tough match against an Irishman, and he was our defending champ. But unfortunately, Brandon did not get the decision in Ireland, and I got to see Brandon overcome adversity. Had a tough call, and saw Brandon grow as a person throughout last season. Now, Brandon's now graduated, and he's an engineer working in a full-time job now. But you can tell I stay in touch with him, and I forged a relationship with a lot of boxers it's been a rewarding experience to see them grow and see the boxing gives them the confidence to take the next step in their life.
Yeah, he'll have these memories to remember for the rest of his life. Now, lots of famous people come out for your events, and I was able last year to visit with Clarissa Shields, who of course is a gold medal winner for the United States, and that handsome guy sitting next to her is Andre Durrell, who in fact will be fighting for a world title within the next several months against James DeGale, trying to get back to the world title that he previously had. And what I thought, that picture reminds me very much of sitting there with them, watching these fights, and the three of us were just boxing fans in effect. We were sitting there watching those matches and having a lot of fun with them and enjoying the quality of it. And I think those two were emblematic of the fact that for the former boxers or the boxers that were formerly amateurs and had an experience, even if it wasn't this particular experience, they really identify with these college kids that are trying to make their way as boxers while they fulfill their college dreams as well.
Yeah, we've been very proud to have the support of a number of elite amateur and professional boxers. Clarissa being one of them, seeing that our organization is the first organization to recognize women's boxing as a college sport, as a championship sport. For her to be the first gold medalist for the United States and come out and support our teams, it's a great experience because our boxers are not going to box, most of them, after 4 years, and they were into the fights, and for them to see two boxers that maybe have 2 or 3 fights, and then they come out of the ring, and who's giving you some pointers but the gold medalist or former world champion Andre Durrell?
Yeah.
I mean, they're motivated by that. They want to get better, and who else gets? How do you get to do that when you're just a regular amateur? We want to make this a really rewarding experience and introduce the students to boxing at all levels.
Yeah, and it is certainly that. And I mentioned that you work with your own team, the Maryland boxing team. How has that experience been for you? Of course, you've got this broader responsibility as the person that's heading the organization, but the nice thing is you get to deal with these boxers in your own school individually. How has that experience been for you?
It's been one of the best experiences of my life to see my teams grow. Every year the team is different. They gel uniquely, but over the years, I've had two of our team captains, the captain of the women's team, captain of the men's team, meet and get married, and now they're pregnant, and now we're going to have a Turks boxing baby. I mean, it's incredible to see the family that we've created. This year, I have taken a step back as I'm no longer the head coach, but a boxer that boxed for our club for 4 years, Matt Goodman. He's taken on the role of the head coach, and I've been supporting him about once a week as an assistant coach. So I still am in touch with them, but I've let them know that I'm taking a step back so that I can focus more on the growth of the league.
Yeah, and of course, for folks that don't realize, this is not a full-time job for you, God knows, though it is. But and tell people a little bit about what you do in regular life, where you're a successful business executive. Tell people a little bit about what you do.
Sure. Well, I work in business development for a Fortune 250 communications company, and I am based in the Maryland area. So some of my clients include, large sporting brands like Under Armour, and I love working with them because I'm a Maryland grad, and their CEO Kevin Plank is a Maryland grad. So in some ways, even though we're a nonprofit organization, I focus the principles and things that I've learned from his success as an entrepreneur towards our organization to help us grow and offer more opportunities to our athletes. But day to day, I'm working in business development and networking and things like that. I find that boxing has always had a place in that. There's always someone somewhere that loves boxing, and most of the business I do outside of boxing has some sort of tie into boxing.
Yeah,
because it's just a uniting factor.
Yeah, that's intriguing. And so, with that on your plate, to be able to do, and I can say it to you, having seen you work and known you, and for you to take on this responsibility of doing all this stuff for USIBA is remarkable. And you guys have guided this organization in such a great way. I am thrilled and delighted to be able to work with you guys and help call attention to these young athletes. And I think collegiate boxing, which was once, of course, a very big entity, you guys are bringing it back in a very good way. And I'm thrilled to be at the event. It's going to be this weekend. It's Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
9, 10, and 11.
And it's in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Tickets are $10. What's the event? What's the location?
The location is the Intramural Building on the University of Michigan campus.
Okay, so people can come over there, and as I say, I'll be on hand there. You're going to see great boxing, and I look forward to seeing lots of folks out there and enjoying the boxing action as well. And I know it's going to be a big event for your organization, and you got to be proud that you guys have now brought this to the point where it's getting this kind of attention, and where it is you're sustaining through these hard times of growing.
Well, Al, yeah, we're very looking forward to it. Looking forward to catch up with you in person next week as well. Your support as a historian of the sport, the International Boxing Hall of Fame announcer, it means a lot to our organization as well. So I'd also be remiss, to not thank all of the other board members and coaches that have helped make our organization a success. And when one last plug is our website, www.collegeboxing.org. We will have all the tournament, that's the spot to find the tournament information and results, as well as our college boxing scholarship. It's eligible to students at our schools and graduating seniors who will be going to a school, either one of our schools or to start a new boxing club at their school. It's the largest scholarship for amateur boxing available. It's a $10,000 scholarship named after the benefactor, the Ira Mitzner family. So I want to throw that out there.
That's great. Yeah, go to the website, check out all the USIBA activity this weekend and beyond. I look forward to seeing many of you out in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as we get a chance to celebrate these young athletes. Luke, a joy to have a chance to chat with you about this. We'll do it again, and we'll be doing some videos also out at the championships, and we'll be able to make those viral as well. So for the folks watching this this hangout, you'll have a chance both here and elsewhere to see some more material about the championships. So Luke, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Al. It's been a pleasure.
All right, so USIBA, United States Intercollegiate Boxing Association Championships this weekend. I'll be there, and it's going to be a terrific event.